Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you, of course, by Because Bitcoin. A reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. Welcome, guys. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day. Yeah. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker, Max, and Dr. Will's Outlook. Welcome, guys. Well, we did have Will. I guess he just dropped off, but I'm sure he'll be back. um, yeah, guys, we're officially at the halfway point of our week. I hope everybody has had a good start over the last few days. Bitcoin has, it's still more or less just trading in effectively a downtrend from. I think there's a little bit of echo on somebody's.
That's for me.
Right.
I turned it off because we were listening to music together before we went live, so I my echo cancellation.
I thought we were using like a sound bar generator or something to make it purposely sound like an echo.
No, we were listening to Frank Sinatra before we went on the show. We were just trying to set the mood before we went live, just jamming out to Frank Sinatra, and then I turned that was me. That was my fault.
Yeah, go keep going, Tommy. We threw you off.
If you guys like shitcoins, if you guys like Frank Sinatra, either way, hit that like button before we get started.
Before we start trading altcoins to Frank Sinatra, hit that like button.
Look,
a rare breed.
Speaking of shitcoins, I mean, look at this one in front of us, man. This dead cat bounce.
That's no way to talk about Tucker, man. Come on.
Yeah. Will was begging me to put this on the screen, guys. Begging me to put this on the screen. And here we are.
Dude, that's a crazy chart. That is wild. There's no way this ends well, honestly. Like, I love the pump, but something bad is going to happen.
Fill the gap. Fill the gap.
It'll fill the gap for sure. At least fill the gap, man.
That'll be the recession drop, is that it will fill that gap.
Bro, could you imagine what it's going to bring down the entire market if it comes down there? Holy hell.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good, man. That would not be good. Wait,
like, people buying up here, like, it's mind-boggling to me because you had so many opportunities for entry. And it's just like, you've got to be high at this. I mean, granted, look, I think Nvidia is going to 800, but I think it's a better long than it is a buy spot.
But why would you buy Nvidia at 600 thinking it's going to 800 if you could buy Sol at 87 knowing it's going to 3K?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I can't reconcile.
Look, I just want people on the stream to know, I knew the second these guys were going to get together, somebody was going to introduce, the next level drug. And I think they hit that last time when we saw them all three on the stream together. I don't know which one it was specifically. I'm not going to name them here on the stream because, we might get, in some trouble with YouTube. But I definitely think there was some kind of a hard drug that dealt with glass pipes.
Oh, man.
Some AOD enjoying. Some hallucinogenic.
It's called being an enjoyer, Will. You wouldn't get it.
Enjoyer.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it. I mean, look.
They're all sitting there smoking, and Max has got the chart up, and he's like, "Hey guys, you guys think we can go to 3K with Sol?"
No. And
I'm like, yeah, we can.
No, Will. Now you poke the bear. Okay, now you poke the bear because that's wrong. I didn't say with a question mark at the end. Do you guys think we can go to 3K on Sol? I suggested in a very confident tone and demeanor, we are going to 3K. There was no question mark. There was an exclamation point at the end. And the title of today's stream was curated by me. You're severely underexposed. When will you wake up? And I want to talk about that because I think a lot of people, they want an answer to that question. You're severely underexposed. When will you wake up? I actually have some propaganda on Sol that's kind of making me rethink everything right now. And I'm not. Oh, there's the balloons. You see that?
I saw
How is this happening?
I don't know. Whenever I do that, I put my hand on my forehead.
Max, I want to believe you, but I remember the time where you were telling me to take the screen for like almost 6 months. All right. And I was like, this guy is fucking with me the whole time we were on.
Yeah, that's true. I did do that. I may or may not have done that. All right, let's Tucker, this is pretty good propaganda. You want to walk us through this? Because I've got some stuff that might actually, it'll decapitate you, man. It'll make your head fall off your body. But maybe
Yeah,
you
man,
want to go
this is
first.
mid-level propaganda. This is just threw it together, you know. We got I mean, it doesn't get better than this, you know, right here, man. Like it just simply there is no second best. You know, right into the daily FVG right there, the EQ, the midline. Also, we had this this Tucker Nachi line, obviously. It's been hitting real nice. I think if we range a little bit on Bitcoin, we'll probably just do this on Sol, maybe come back, and then we just something like that. We'll see. But if we flip, I think if we flip this top line, then you're gone. I think if you come back and do that, you're gone. You're
Can you imagine what
easily
happens
taking
to
that.
Can you imagine what happens to Whiff when that
Oh my
happens?
god.
Dude,
$4
Whiff has had like, I kid you not, a dozen chances to die in the past month, and it has not died.
Max,
It
every
refuses to die.
shitcoin out there right now is sending. Every
No,
like
Will,
I'm on
you're
X's.
deflecting and coping because you're not in Whiff. That's what
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
This
So
is coke. Your hat's
Like
not
look,
on, Will.
yeah,
look,
Will, I won't.
I go for a gum that has been chewed by more than one homeless person. Okay, and
Dude,
and in this case,
I was hoping that chart looked way worse, Tucker.
I know. Same.
I
No,
wanted.
no, better. You hope to look better.
Oh, sorry, I meant better. Oh wait,
Yeah.
wait, that's perfect. I thought you did it the opposite way for some reason. In
Yeah.
my head, I flip flopped it.
No, it's good. It's good.
No, that's great. That means that we're outperforming Will, man. Because
Yeah,
he doesn't
exactly.
own Whiff.
yeah, right.
That's my benchmark. I don't strive to outperform Bitcoin and beat Bitcoin. I just want to beat Will's meme coin pick.
All I saw the other day is I saw Tommy and he posted autistic puppets. I think it was.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I gotta beat that. I was like, I gotta find something worse than that, and I did a 10x overnight by finding something worse than what he had.
Will went from $20 to $300.
In a matter of just going to sleep and waking up. So,
I mean, I poke fun at him, but also I'm pretty sure he bought like 100 of those shitty things. So that ain't bad, Will. That ain't bad. 10x is a 10x. A lot of ways to skin the cat, you know. No offense, Tommy. I know you love cats.
and guess what? Those started at a high of 3 Sol, and by the time I got done with them, they were down to like 0.6.
Let's go with this, man. Ozeal, good morning. Thank you for the super chat, man. That's fantastic. Can you help me with what would be a good entry point for track?
Yo.
So let's do this. Let's address the super chat. Let's pull up track, Tucker, and then I'm gonna show you guys some propaganda. All right.
Look, I'm gonna let you get into this, Max, but I just want to point out at some point we have to get into the discussion of the stock market god, Nvidia.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh, the current, man. It's been a while since I've seen the BB current.
It's been too long, man. It's been we're just stacking support right here. Look at that. We got an order block. We got the current. We got the 100 EMA.
That kind of looks nice.
It was kind of. Oh,
Yo, team, what are we cooking?
Chef Jackus. Well, we're hungry, man. We need the chef to cook.
Do you want some alpha today?
I want that alpha soup.
We opened, Jackus. We opened with the dead cat bounce on Nvidia. That's currently at $616 off the low.
Yeah.
wait, just for
Dead cat bounces are
Ozeal.
pretty vicious, man. They're vicious.
Just for
But-
Ozeal, I think that's a good spot, probably.
Let's send serious moon rocket on Nvidia. To be honest.
No.
It's crazy that's what Bitcoin is going to look like in a few months.
Yeah.
But like 10 times more. That's all.
So Tucker,
There is a great chart of BTC versus Nvidia that I keep on using, and it's a heavy support. It's an accumulation zone.
What are people's thoughts though if Nvidia beats Bitcoin in X's? I just want to entertain the thought.
I do not think so, because right now it's at a
5x?
3-year support. So Bitcoin is gonna beat Nvidia by 4 to 5x from here.
Okay, so it's gonna beat Nvidia by 4 to 5x. You think when it hits its all-time high? Because I think Nvidia is going to do a 10x or 8x at least off the lows.
Yeah, but at this point, why does it matter? You know, like no one's gonna buy it up here. I don't even care.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying performance wise, a stock just beat Bitcoin, which is interesting.
Well,
because
I
it's
would
a
say it's
large cap.
temporarily outperforming. Will it beat it forever?
That-
I don't.
No, that's what I'm saying too. I don't say I don't think it'll beat it forever. I'm just saying for like from the bottom to wherever this thing tops, wherever that is. If Nvidia were to outperform Bitcoin, what would people's thoughts be? I guess if that's
I
a
mean,
better question.
I'd be pretty disappointed with Bitcoin because that means that Bitcoin is not going to do what I thought it was going to do.
Gotcha.
But God, that looks good. That looks like a strong chart.
You wanna
Mhm.
use BTC versus Nvidia, and then you wanna use the index chart, not the Binance chart.
Why?
Actually, you know, fuck you, Tucker. I'm gonna pull out a Tommy.
Hey,
You just
I
don't
need
like
a
the way this
login.
one looks, Jackus. I know you don't. It
I
looks
need a
too
login.
strong.
I
No,
think
no, no.
the
I'll
issue,
show
Tucker,
you.
is your purple and blue candles, man. It's kind of atrocious, you know.
What are you talking about, man? They're
It's
gorgeous.
an abysmal color scheme, man.
I will
You need to
show
change
you.
that.
It is
Yeah,
phenomenal, man. You
nah,
guys
man.
like
Enjoy
white
the
and
last
black,
second of
like
your chart. Here is a
Purple and
Tommy.
purple
Here comes
and
Tommy.
neon blue, brother.
yeah, man.
Look, I support anybody who doesn't use red and
Ooh.
green because red and green is the propaganda that gets people to
You
think
guys
the
need to
wrong way.
get. You guys need to get.
Will, you use red and green.
You guys need
No,
to
I
get
don't.
volume specific candle pilled is
I
what you
use
need.
blue and white, but my secondary is red and green. I
You,
use blue and white on my main.
dude, you need volume candles that change color dependent on volume.
All right,
I don't
what's the
need volume if
indicator,
I can
Max?
read
What's it
volume,
called?
Max. I
What's
can
it
read
called?
volume.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called colored candle by volume Z score, and it's made by a guy named Morty.
I see Morty.
Listen,
Sounds like
guys.
something a guy named Morty would make.
It does.
Yeah, this is a nice looking chart.
Ooh, I like
Jacket.
that. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah.
All right, let's cook, right? And guys, by the way, I didn't like the traditional alpha cook, alpha like. So, you know, we didn't have any, you know, target for today like, hey, you guys hit, 150 likes. I'll do the alpha. No, I'm doing the alpha here, but you guys smash the like button nonetheless. It helps the channel grow, right? And I just wanted to reward you some of those that are early here. It's not going to be always like this. So, yeah. Listen, this is the BTC versus Nvidia chart, and it's kind of funny, but since 2013, BTC had no cycle versus Nvidia. It's just a giant range. But the good thing is that right now we are at a heavy support, right? This is, January 2015 all the way till, July 2017. So basically 2.5 years of accumulation down here. It's also confluent with this area. And look at this here, right? Look at this one. Right here, we had a falling wedge. We had a deep discount in 2023. Then we had the breakout, and now we are getting the retest. Look, right now, look where we are. Right here, strong support. Market, trading view line makes bounce. Market go high, and generally all of these highs will get stopped essentially, and you will get something like this, right? Right now you are in this type of period. You are early.
Yeah. The next move is going to be the craziest one.
You're even more early to Nvidia.
Nah, Will. Not even.
Right?
Not even
So
close.
you are very early, and then whoop. This is probably coming next year though, right? I do not know exactly the timing. You never know. All you know is the levels. Right now, level good, trading view line makes bounce. Sell here. Instruction clear?
Can you, Jackus, could you put Bitcoin's chart, just this Bitcoin US dollar chart below?
I'll do that.
Like add another chart on there.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Also, just while you're doing that, Jack, is I just want to point out if you guys notice, and this is something you should appreciate from BB, we never tell you guys, hey guys, go buy Nvidia because it's going to go up another 200% or another 200%, or in this case, if we get it from 600 to 800, that's another 20%. So, the reason we don't do that is because we're looking to always capitalize on the market. So we're looking for the next best move and what can actually make you money versus, what you're chasing. And, I think like telling you to buy Nvidia here wouldn't make any freaking sense. But telling you like, hey, Bitcoin's still at value makes plenty of sense. And when you look at those two aspects, every other show is going to be like, look, guys, green, good, buy. That's what they would say. They say green good buy. So it can go up, so buy this. Just like they'll tell you buy SPY, buy anything that's popping, because that's all they look at. Your average TA show is looking at overpriced assets versus underpriced or undervalued assets, and trying to tell you overpriced assets are undervalued assets when they're really not. There's not much left. There's not much gas left in the gas tank. They're running on fumes. Yes, they have quite a bit more ways to go to the upside, but your exponentials are significantly less in some assets in comparison to others. Like Nvidia, for instance, I think 800 is a possibility, but think about the move from 600 to 800. How many X's are you making? Not even one. Not even one.
So looking at this chart,
Right.
is there any like signal in this, like when?
There is.
Okay, let's
There
talk
is.
about it.
So first of all, you want to accumulate BTC when it's low. So that's right here. We are still at and I keep reminding these guys, I was saying this yesterday, we are at a deep undervalued area for BTC. Like it's still super undervalued. And that's because of the time it's taking to move higher. That's simply it. If it went straight up here, that would not be the case. But because it's taking this much time, it's very undervalued longer term. You can see that here, right? How long it took to go all the way back down. And regarding when approximately do we have the pump, well, it's quite clear, right? You always get some moonshot, right? Like moonshot on BTC, then you get the bear market basically. Then you start to get like a slow grind up, which is this area, and then you get the moonshot. That's when the BTC Nvidia chart goes up, right? Then you get the bear market, right? And then right here, it bottoms, right? That's the bottom right here. So you get a bear market and bottom, bear market and bottom. And then you get the accumulation period. And that's usually when this chart goes sideways. That's Nvidia usually leading, it seems. And then you get what? You get slow grind up higher on BTC in the value area. That's where we are right now. And then people cannot take it anymore and they start FOMOing and it goes into full parabola. That's this one. That's where we are. And as I've been saying, this cycle was, and on many charts, this confirms to me that this cycle was way more painful, way more longer than all the previous ones, and this one will be more like 2016-17 in my opinion. So I'm expecting something like this. And look, another one, right? There is the bull market, bear market, slow accumulation period. There's the bear market. Obviously, then we got the July 2019 rally. But if you so I do not think this one was that heavily predicted. I mean, like based on this chart. Otherwise, yes. But then you get the another, secular bear market. That's once again confirmed to me that 2019 was two bear markets in a row, right? It was basically this two bear markets in a single cycle, and the cycle was very much different. This time, though, look at that. You get the top, right? And by the way, once again, this confirms to me that top was in April 2021 of the cycle. This was just a deviation, right? This was the actual top and the bear market started here. I kept saying that and I keep seeing more and more evidence of that. So that's when the bear market started and you see the price going up, sorry, down. Then there is, the bottom of the bear market. But look at this chart, it keeps going down, and now it's in this accumulation period. What is BTC doing? Oh, the value area, right? That's your 2016-17 value area. And as long as we are trading inside of it, guys, as long as we are trading inside of it, you have the value area. Then you will most likely, even if there is like slight dip lower, you are not getting, in my opinion, you are not getting much lower than that right now. And what we could see is actually, this. And that's when the BTC Nvidia chart goes once again higher. Whenever it reaches this level, each cycle top in BTC just on this chart, right, was predicted right here. Obviously, well, that was the first leg, but okay. So 2017 top, 19 top, March, April 2021 the top. Look at where we are right now, and people are calling for the top. You are fool. You are a fool. This is not
I have
top.
some propaganda for you too, Jackus.
Go
What
for
if you
it.
drew a diagonal line across the three big tops there, Jackus? Not excluding the June 2019 one. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there we go.
So random.
Who could have foreseen?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
new high imminent.
It's because all the charts are so connected, and there is a fundamental reason behind this chart as well, right? Because you actually use lots of Nvidia GPU for the miners, right? If I'm correct.
For everything.
For everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this cycle does make sense, right? With like the fundamental reasons for this chart as well, not just the technicals, but also the fundamentals.
Do
So
you want to? Oh, go ahead. I'll let you finish that.
I do not know if the next overshoot is all the way up here. That would be quite crazy, not gonna lie. Although this time, it's taking that's quite long. Actually, let's measure. Okay, I want to measure these two, right? And I think there are lots of, and we can say, this was sort of the bottom, right? 1,000 days. Let's see. Oh.
Oh man.
Oh. Such coincidence. Okay. What? Yeah. So
It's game time, baby. That's what I'm seeing. It's time to
it's
go.
game time. And
Do you,
listen,
oh,
Will. Sorry. You will cook after,
there you go.
right?
Good.
I always have these windows of Series Alpha. Then I'm exhausted and I'll let you talk.
Exhausted.
But I do not know if we go just here and that's it. It's definitely good level to maybe take some profits. Maybe we overshoot, right? But I'm telling you that even if Nvidia stays stable at this level, right? BTC is going 400% from here, basically. That's what I'm saying. And obviously Nvidia could go down a little, and BTC could stay stable. That would change the ratio slightly, but in my opinion, 400%, that's $200,000 for BTC, and that's in my opinion. And by the way, if Nvidia keeps trading higher, which it can, then that means this could go way larger, the 400%. And if we're gonna go all the way to 700%, well then that's and that's once again only if Nvidia stays stable. That's 300,050 basically. So yeah, keep FUDing, guys. Keep FUDing. Keep waiting for the big pullback, and don't forget to FOMO at new all-time highs.
Jackus.
Real quick, I wanted to add in there for the NVIDIA conversation for the people in the back, that eat Cheerios for breakfast every morning. That basically, if you look at NVIDIA's price, and I say that because you're lacking protein. But if you look at NVIDIA's price overall, it is just more indicative of the or at least the narrative of AI, right? So if you're sitting there and you're like, "Oh, AI is the fad. It's the narrative, guys. It's the manipulation, and they're using it as why the hell would somebody dump that much money in for manipulation? Like use your brain a little bit, right? You went to school for a reason. I know you probably didn't get past the 6th to 8th grade if you're sitting there screaming manipulation. But at the end of the day, at least, like I know you did at least, addition, subtraction, maybe a little bit of division, hey, maybe even some fractions, within those grade levels. And so if you've gotten that far, then you should at least be able to understand that that much money doesn't dump into an asset for price manipulation, guys.
Oh
Like,
my
I
God,
don't,
Will.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like AMD is running because of the same reason. Like AI is real, and this narrative is only going to get worse. So for those of you sitting there like, hey, what do I get into next? I'd say in the next 5, 10 years, we're gonna be looking at AI plays actually being real plays. And you just have to be ahead of the trend. Like Nvidia was the easiest W ever. Like it was the easiest W. Why was it the easiest W ever? You can literally just look at the chart. It's been accumulating for a long time. What did they do? They pushed it at Pico high. Like, hey guys, AI thing now, so everybody get in, and everybody pushed Nvidia that much higher, right? And this is just something that happens in the stock market. We can call it whatever we want. Um, Even the government got in on pushing price up for Nvidia. You're probably like, oh, what are you talking about? Conspiracy? No, no, not conspiracy at all. Go back and look at the Chips Act. Like all the idiots out there screaming, price manipulation, don't even pay attention to what laws are being created. What bills are being passed, and what money is actually being dumped in by your government to push these prices higher. Again, the Chips Act, a great example of why Nvidia ran. I actually saw that when it came out. I was like, chips and GPUs, they're gonna freaking run now because these idiots are sitting there pushing it in the government. I'm like, Nancy Pelosi's definitely got a freaking position. So I mean, hey, best trader out there, guys. Like we were talking about it when back for a little while, and we are like, hey, Nancy is the antithesis of the best trader in the world. I mean, you can't be in a losing trade when you control, the laws and legislation of all things because you make them benefit the things that you're in, right? AKA Chips Act. I don't know if anybody remembers her being in Nvidia too when that came out. Wink, wink.
Do you guys see this? This is unbelievable. This is great propaganda. I need to tweet this. So check it
Narrate it
out.
for us. So from bear market bottom to new all-time high, or
No. From the bottom until you break out of the shoulder, right? So basically,
yeah,
backing up. Yeah. So every time you break out from the complacency shoulder, you're gone. You're gone, right? So for us, that's 48K. Yeah, from the bottom, 11 bars. This is a 2-month chart, 11 bars. I put the bottom here as before the FTX crash. We can make it for real though if we want to, but that would put that out in like September, which doesn't really make sense with the halving. And I think FTX was a black swan, so I'm just gonna kind of ignore
and I mean
that.
at that point, more confluence. ETH didn't make a new low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So 11 bars. We should break out in March.
Yes, we
Is what
should.
this is saying. February or March. It's a 2 month, so it doesn't include February on here. But I mean, once you get above 48K, you should just go. And this cycle looks so much more like 2015 to 18 than it does this garbage in here anyway. So I mean, you
Yeah.
probably just do that.
And can we also entertain the idea of the major exchange collapse in that cycle and this cycle too? Like it's just insane the amount of confluence there.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
By the way, guys, when they hit you in 2034 with FTX is unloading their tokens, right? Bye.
Oh man, that's hilarious. The Mount Gox of next decade.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. But people
How,
in
how
my
many
comment
years is
section
Mount
were
Gox?
saying Mount Gox is dumping on us. We
How,
sell
how, how
and
many
Dude,
then
and
years
10
is
years
Mount?
meanwhile,
later.
Meanwhile, it's like they're not, and at the same time, it's not all gonna like hit the order books at one time, even if the coins do get released. And at the same time, we're seeing firsthand right now how much Bitcoin can actually be absorbed when dumped on the open market in a short period of time with Grayscale, and
Yeah,
it's
but
not that bad.
I don't know who from you was it, but some of you guys told me. I think it was one of you that it's not even getting released as like BTC on the open market. It's in cash and Japanese yen and so forth. Oh, it was
Yeah.
actually Josh. It was actually sorry. It was actually Josh who was saying that to me. That the the Mount Gox repayments they're coming in cash to the people, not in terms of BTC. So anyone,
Well, the thing is too, like, and yeah, that makes sense that they would do it in cash. That a lot of people don't understanding is like they keep on talking about. I have data. I have data on this too, so I'm not just talking out of my ass like a lot of people on Twitter. But basically, if you look at the back end on Bitcoin and GBTC, like you're seeing, I think it was all of the new ETFs have accumulated about 100,000 Bitcoin. So everybody keeps on talking about how GBTC is dumping, blah 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 blah. On the back end, you can see basically it's a rotation of capital. So the capital is being picked up by the other ETFs and being dropped by the singular ETF. And so what you're seeing is these entities picking up all that Bitcoin that is being dumped on the open market. So again, this is why you look at data. You don't talk shit out of your ass. I'm like, hey, got to go dump behind 500,000 Bitcoin because that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter
No,
if you
yeah,
don't
Will,
if you know
the
what's going
net
on.
flows are positive. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that causes what? It causes green freaking candles, guys. Like net flow positive is green candles. That's what it means for
Which
those who don't understand.
means right, which means that this 21% correction was not Grayscale. Like this was just fear of Grayscale. Like this wasn't actually
That was
Grayscale. Because you're
retail
right.
releasing their positions. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
I mean this was the ETFs were picking up the Grayscale dumping, right? They were absorbing. So this is just people scared, honestly. And we get it every time either way. So it's like, I don't think it's that big a deal.
Yeah.
listen, Michael Godoy has a interesting comment on you, Will. What do you say to that?
I mean that is data dependent. That's what it is. That's looking at data. I'm not just like, hey guys, this much Bitcoin's coming on. I got no other info, so just be scared and sell everything. I mean, I got on the freaking stupid whale chats on Twitter yesterday. I bashed them for it because it's like you guys consistently do this. You say $900 worth of Bitcoin got moved to Coinbase. Everybody in the freaking market panics. Not everybody in the market, but all the people on Twitter, right, which probably have $5 a piece in Bitcoin, panic, and they're all going to sell at the same time and drop Bitcoin's price by 0.001%. Um, and they sit there and they discuss how Bitcoin's going to go to 20K or 19K or 15K or 10K, right? Some imaginary location, while they sit there and smoke on their glass pipes. When in
So
reality, Bitcoin's not going to go anywhere near a lot of those price zones. Probably none of them. And a lot of people are sitting here, they're freaking out because Bitcoin's dropped. No, this is what we call, for those of you who may or may not know TA, I'm not going to bash anymore, but I would say just a simple correction. Like I don't know how people don't know what a correction is. Like this
well, you
is
can tell, Will, you
2024.
can tell who hasn't really traded a bull market before, and a 21% correction over the past
The
2
like
years.
button, Max. The like button hasn't traded the bull market yet.
Today it certainly has not. We've been in a recession, one of the most grueling like button recessions we've ever had on this show.
We need Max to start chilling the like button again. It is what
All
it
right,
is, guys.
let me
We
take
tried.
let me take a crack at it.
Listen, guys, we tried. You guys complain that we keep chilling the like button. The moment we stop doing that, you guys stop doing that. It is what it is. We spilled lots of alpha today. Where are the likes? Nowhere to be seen.
And
The
we
like
haven't even
chill
gotten to
will
my
have likes.
propaganda yet, man. I have some of the most moon boyish propaganda for all you Solana holders
Don't
out
drop
there.
it. Don't drop it. Nah, screw
Well,
that.
I
Look,
don't know if I
we're
want.
getting
I
back
was
to the
going to,
like
but
button.
now I feel like if they don't even like the stream, how do I know if anybody's enjoying the stream? And it doesn't really motivate me to want to, give them propaganda. But guys, let's just do this. Let's just see if we can knock this out of the park right away. All right. We've been trying a new thing where we did a little experiment the other day. All right. Let's just not talk about the like button and see if we get any likes, and then we kind of got some likes, but oftentimes we need to do little reminders. So guys, real quick, if we could just take one moment away from the alpha dump, take one moment. We're here shilling, dropping alpha on you guys. It's a front end loader of alpha, just backing it up, dumping alpha all over you guys. If you guys could please just take one quick moment and dump all of your efforts into that like button, guys. We have collectively 140 people watching, 82 on YouTube, 55, it's bouncing around, 56 on Twitter. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, please take one quick moment, either hit that heart button on Twitter or hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. Guys, it really does wonders for the channel. I promise we would not bug you guys about it if it didn't make a huge difference, but when we do bug you about it, we get more views, we get more subscribers. It really helps us out. So if you guys are enjoying the content, please take one quick moment, just hit that thumbs up button for us. Again, guys, thanks so much for being here. Furthermore, if you're new here, this is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern Time with this full cast: Tucker, Tommy, myself, Jackus, and Will's Outlook. It's basically an hour and a half long alpha dump. We talk charts, price narratives, and real good propaganda. So anyways, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's get back to the show.
Max.
Hang on. I got Manta just crossed $3. Just got an alert. Don't own any, but
Don't kick this account. I'm staying on here on this one, but I just wanted to get on and just discuss a chart. I gotta.
oh, you're on the
hop
screen,
this
Will.
later, but well,
Will, you're on mute.
Where is the Apple Vision Pro, Will?
Oh man.
Tucker, whenever you're ready,
Before-
I've got some serious propaganda for you.
Before
Okay.
Will,
Okay.
before
This
Will
is
sets up his sorry, man. Too many of us. But there was a comment from Karan Kapoor that I wanted to address. So first of all, thank you for your comment. And I started at, I think like 18, 19, when I was 18, 19. So I started to chart, but I did so many mistakes, all the ones you can think of. It was very tough for me. And I'm really just a guy who beats the talent with hard work, I would say.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though, is Jackus's humility actually works against him, and he can't recognize how talented he is. So he's got this deadly combination of outworking everybody that's naturally gifted, but he's also naturally gifted. So then you get all-star, you get the LeBron James, you get the Cristiano Ronaldos, you get the Messis. That's a Jackus. That's Chef Jackus. Tucker, this isn't even like, dude, you call
Dude.
this propaganda? Let me.
Yes, I
I don't even
do.
know what you're doing. This is 20, dude. What are we talking about here? Let me.
We're literally right here, man. Like there's no.
I know, and I've got a chart for you, bro.
Do it. Send
I'm
it.
gonna pull a Tommy. I was waiting for your blessing, but I guess I'm just gonna pull a Tommy.
Pull it, Tommy, man.
Fine. Can you guys see this? It's a lot to look at, but I'm gonna walk through it.
Oh man, that's some propaganda.
Yeah, bro. All right, let's do this first. Let's just look at these two.
Jackus, I need you to pull a Tommy for me on my chart, so that way.
I am pulling the Tommy.
I can
have
show my
stolen
only
the screen.
charts.
I have stolen the screen. I am the only one pulling a Tommy right now. Okay.
All right. Let Max finish, then I pull Tommy with Will. Tommy's just laughing in the background. I know.
Tommy did it one time and it's forever locked in.
He just closed his webcam because he was like, I cannot hear this anymore. They're all pulling at Tommy and I'm not even speaking.
He's like, I can't stay. He's like, I hate these guys. He did it one time. He didn't even steal the screen. I'm pretty sure he was like, yeah, like here, I'll show you the chart and just put it on quick.
He's like, can the devs do something? And we are the devs, man.
Yeah. All right. So guys, look, we've been following this Sol versus ETH fractal for a long time, boys. We've been following it for a long time.
We haven't got enough likes for that.
Jackus
got enough likes.
No, we do. Watch this. We do. I got stuff I'm holding back. Jackus, first of all, called the bear market. If you go to Jackus's Twitter, just look up like his Twitter handle and Solana, and you'll see it. Okay. He told you we were going to nuke to where we nuked. Now I'm going to tell you where we're going to moon to where we're going to moon. All right. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. What I'm most focused on is this little cluster right here, guys. So if for ETH, it's basically that bear market shoulder consolidation that happened in April of 2018. I've got a purple line drawn across it. Okay. Solana, it basically happened in March of 2022. Purple line drawn across it. All right. Some simple fib extensions would suggest.
Max, this is propaganda, bro.
Dude,
I see where you're going.
Bear with me, bro. Bear with me. I haven't even gotten close yet, man.
Somebody's been to Disney.
I'm about to make Koosh look like a perma bear, man. Just hang on. All right. So we've rejected again right at the 1.618, from our bear market range. Same thing that ETH did in 2020. Okay. And then we're also consolidating above our bear market shoulder low, okay, which is marked by the purple line. Now, all right, you might be saying, Max, how could you possibly suggest that Solana goes to 3,000? That's insanity. You'd be correct. However, this is crypto. All right, so hang with me. Hang with me. Now we're going to talk. Well, for one, I mean, let's just, in the simplest of terms, this is where ETH topped in its previous cycle, was the 3.618. All right, let's fast forward a bit. Where's additional confluence? Where can I possibly get that number from? All right. Well, let's assume that ETH does the same thing. Let's assume that ETH basically from its previous all-time high pulls like a 3x and goes to 15K, 14K, somewhere in that region. Okay. I don't know where it's going to go, but let's just assume it does. So last cycle, it went from 1,400 up to almost 5,000. Diminished returns, I would anticipate. So about 5,000 up to 13, 14,000. Good returns, but nothing too crazy, right? So if ETH does this and ETH goes up here to, let me mark it out for you guys. I'll even put the prices on here. If ETH goes up to here, let's just say 13K. All right. Now we're looking at the Sol ETH valuation over here. Okay. This is the Sol ETH valuation. I'm pretty sure that we are about to rocket up, and this is going to end up being like a cup and handle pattern. Okay. So this is like your cup right here. Wherever this happens, I'm pretty sure you hit the 1.618 on this breakout. Okay. So that would be a Sol ETH valuation of 0.165. Now, what do we know? If ETH goes to 13.2, okay, and they won't time out exactly, 13,221 times 0.165 would be a $2,000 Sol if that breakout happens. Now, again, it's not going to time out perfectly. It's certainly not going to time out perfectly, but you have to assume that Solana is going to steal market share from ETH. Okay. Currently, ETH is sitting at like a 270 at 270. This is a beautiful comment. Thank you, Michael. ETH is sitting at a 270 billion market cap. I believe at the peak of last cycle, it was like 600 billion. So it always seems like a crazy valuation until you break through that ceiling. And once you break through that ceiling, new things are possible. So what if ETH goes to a 2 trillion market cap or something like that? Maybe 2.5 trillion market cap. Solana's at a sub 40 billion market cap right now. Could it pull a 40x from here potentially and trade parity with Ethereum, or even maybe flip ETH? Maybe that's the real flipping.
Max, what was the ETH market cap, or what was the ETH price on that fractal?
Which one are you talking about?
From 2017 or whatever that you had.
Tucker, I think you need to highlight that second to last comment.
Yeah. Hang on.
The ETH price, right?
What was the price before it chatted? 400?
This was down here, dipped to 350.
Okay, hang on. Keep going. I'll get in there in just a moment.
No, I mean that's kind of it, right? So like I'm looking at this area, whether it goes here or not, I don't know. I'm just saying like the valuations seem crazy until suddenly they don't, right? Nvidia is trading at $600 and some dollars, $700. I mean, Ethereum last cycle was trading at $80 and went to 5,000 in like 1 year's time. So I'm just saying it seems crazy until it actually happens,
It does. I mean, $589 XRP sounds absolutely insane, but could definitely happen.
Yeah, so I'm just saying like the fib extensions, like the fractals, they do align and it does make sense. You obviously are going to need the stars to align perfectly, but you're going to need Solana to steal market share from Ethereum. For sure. You're going to need to basically ETH is just going to be like turbo cucked for infinity.
No, ETH's going to die if that happens. It'll be dead. It'll be a dead chain.
No. Hang on. Okay, so ETH went to.
You have 7 trillion max is what you're anticipating for market share.
Hang on.
You're saying Sol is going to eat 1/3 of that. Absolutely zero chance.
No. Hang on. ETH went down to about 350 on that dip right there, Max, you said?
Yeah.
Well, Sol is sitting at a market cap of 37 billion. At the time, ETH market cap was 30 billion. Pretty much identical.
Okay, so if Solana goes to a 600 billion market cap, which is roughly what ETH peaked out at the top of last cycle, I believe.
I think it was around 350 for most of the cycle.
No, it was definitely more than 350, dude. It's at like 250 right now.
Yeah. It's literally half of 4K.
I'm telling you right now, we peaked out at over $500 billion.
Okay, that was January 18th.
Here, let me just
it peaked out around what, 4,000?
Let me do this right now. I'll literally pull them up. We can pull up the market caps right now.
We peaked at 560 billion market cap.
Yeah,
there you go.
I got it
yeah,
right
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It was trading at 15 to 20 billion market cap towards the bottom.
Yeah. So if you were to put that on Solana, you might get another 12x.
No.
Oh wow, this is
market
good
caps were
propaganda.
perfect.
Hang on, let me draw this. Let me cook. Hang on. We got it up right here, guys. All right.
I mean, to be fair, Will, how many people are going to outperform a 12x for the remainder of the cycle?
I am 100%.
Not many people.
Like I hate the like I know I make it. I don't know. I guess for me, like I just don't even like entertaining anything under like 15, 20x. But
I'm happy to.
Proper
Man.
shitcoiner.
This is very, very interesting. Tucker.
Still, actually, you get it. You get it,
Tommy. Tucker. Oh my goodness. Who could have foreseen such a feat?
That's what I'm saying. The market caps were pretty much identical.
That's wild, Tucker. What a find, man. What a find. So let's go from right here. Wow, what if it literally just does exactly 1,000?
But if that were to occur, Max, I do want to point this part out just for context. It would happen at the end of the year. Just like what it did with ETH last time. Right?
Dude, what if it's just following this? It's this simple. What if it's literally just following this?
No, Sol seasonality is not the same as ETH seasonality.
No, altcoins all peak out around the same time.
Well then, okay, so ETH, BTC, and ETH send the hardest January 2025. So you're looking at Sol probably in next February would do that.
This is a wild find, Tucker.
But I don't even if that's the case, I don't even think you bottomed yet. If you look at Ethereum right there, it kind of like rolled the bottom, right? You're not even close to rolling here. So it means like even if you found support here, you're going to continue chopping sideways for an extended period of time before you actually rip out of this.
Okay, so just kind of readjusting this, right? Let's be realistic. What from right here would be 1,200 or 1,300%?
12x.
Hey, who hit the number on the head, guys? Who hit the number on the head? I pulled that out of my ass too.
All right, well let's find some fibs that work. Let's just move it a little bit.
I mean, if it pulls like a 40x from the low, like ETH did, that's $600, right? Basically, or
no, Oh wait,
or $500, I guess, depending on where you mark the Pico Sol low.
Like you have to look at compound for like selling pressure once you get past a certain amount of X's. Like you're gonna have so much selling pressure at a certain point. You're gonna peak.
I could have said the
You're
same thing
100%
about
gonna
ETH,
peak.
brother. Believe in something.
No. He like I think Tommy hit the nail on the head. Like a 40x, I think is a reasonable peaking position.
Yeah, but
Be
Sol
like-
also went down more than ETH in the bear market, which makes a big difference. So Sol went down like 97%.
That doesn't matter in comparison to people that bought at $8. People that bought at $8
no one bought at $8, man. I'm sorry. Like the bounce there was the bounce there was shorts closing. That no one fucking bought, man. Like
okay, well, people bought at 12, people bought at 10, people bought at 15, people bought at 20. Like those are prices.
Yeah, I know,
that
but you're talking about like a one-off, man.
We sat between 20 and 30 for a long time. There were definitely people buying.
Dude.
You bought, Max. What are you talking about? Like, no, there were people buying.
I don't know what your point is, though. I don't know what your point is. What's your point?
My point is that once you get past a certain amount of extension, and this is why Fibonacci extensions work, you're going to get so much sell side pressure, you're not going to move anymore. Like
you could have said the same thing about ETH, bro.
Well, I still don't know the point.
I can show you. Look,
I'm not even being rude. I don't understand what point you're trying.
I can show you with Bitcoin. It's not difficult.
Just explain to me what you're trying to say. Are you like? Is something
talking
wrong
about
with the chart, or like I don't understand.
No. So I'm talking about I don't think you're going to even come close to that for that far. I don't think you're going to come close to that far.
Because
why can't Sol pull a?
I mean, you can sit there and meme it all you want. I'm just telling you. Like I've seen it 1,000 times on 1,000 different charts.
You don't think that Sol could pull a 4x from its previous all-time high?
I don't think Sol's going to multi-trillion-dollar market cap. I don't even. I think 600 billion.
This is 500. This is
500 billion. Like maybe.
I mean, what did ETH
billion?
pull? Like, ETH went to 1,400 and then it went to 5K. So what is that? Like a 3.5x from all time high?
My honest opinion is you're probably looking at 1 to 150. Like that's what I think. Like your top out is for Sol. I think at 100 to 150 billion, you're gonna have so much sell side pressure. Like people are gonna be using Sol shitcoins to like do things. Don't get me wrong. But like I think you're gonna get sell side pressure to people that are just holding bags.
Yeah, but how is that different than ETH, man? People bought the bottom on ETH too and had
ETH mechanically changed
pressure.
No, they mechanically changed it right in the middle of the market. They changed it to be more deflationary to pump the bags even harder.
Wait, so you're saying, Will, that just so that we have like TLDR, that Sol is going to, I don't know, 150 billion, but not 600 billion?
I think it's going to start topping around 150. It can go higher, but I don't know if I'm explaining it well. But
so much FUD.
No, look.
I don't see how we do. Last cycle we peaked at 80. You think its market cap will only 2x at its next global top? Throw
me the chart, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I'll do it. I'll pull out a Tommy. Sorry, Tommy.
I'm going to use Bitcoin as an example because this is how I knew where Bitcoin was ultimately starting to top, but I knew it wasn't topped. So this right here is Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin's top, whether people want to believe it or not. Right? That's Bitcoin's top. How can you tell that's Bitcoin's top? You can tell it's its top right here based on strength. Its strength started degrading up here, like big time. It started losing strength value at the highs, right? And so my anticipation would be we'll probably peak. This is a peak, right? And it's always hard to explain to people, but this is a peak. And then you can still run further past the peak, right? So you could probably get into 200, 250 billion, 300 billion, somewhere's in there. But I think you're going to start distributing really heavily once you reach around those price ranges because of distributive X's. And it's only because Sol is it's a solid coin now, right? It's not a shit coin. It doesn't have pumponomics based off of just straight up and straight down. It's basically running, accumulating, running, accumulating, running, accumulating, running, and then it's going to start distributing, right?
But Will, you're looking at Bitcoin as it went I mean, it flipped $1 trillion market cap. We're talking about a $37 billion market cap coin like Solana.
We're talking about a layer one. That's what we're talking about essentially. Like we had to get out of the
Okay, but it would be
market
much
cap.
better to go look at Bitcoin during the 2014 cycle or something rather than when it went to.
I don't think so at all. I
cap.
think something will come out better than Solana, just like something came out better than Ethereum, better TPS, better
But
everything
dude, it's
else.
not about better. It's about cult community and marketing.
It's
That's
also
literally
about
all it is.
total
What is
crypto market
Ethereum?
cap ripping face.
What is Ethereum? Ethereum is literally a cult.
Ethereum is a foundation that dumps its coin, man. Okay.
Look, the point being at the end of the day is this is the same conversation I had with people in 2021.
No,
And
we
they
are
were telling
talking
me the
about
market was going to
future of
continue.
friends, not
All right.
future of finance. Future
Like
of
when
friends.
people say cope and stuff like that, like it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what your thought process is here. Because if you're gonna say the word cope, definitely explain your position. But overall, right? I think like if you look at something like Sol, for instance, I think it's gonna top probably somewhere around, and I'll give context to it. Hold on. Let me go to a different chart. And I'll open up Sol. I didn't want to get into the Sol discussion. I really didn't personally, but I think like
Well, you're
Sol-
locked
you-
in now.
You've been cold on Sol like forever. Even when me and Tommy
Sol,
had our
Sol,
silly
no,
bet, like,
listen. Sol
you've been
is
a
the new
Sol
Luna.
hater, bro. Hater.
It's the new Luna. It's the new Luna.
Oh God.
Will.
Oh God.
You throw that around too loosely, man. You said that about Caspa.
Oh, he said it about Caspa.
I mean,
No.
you can say what you want. I'm just saying.
In what regard do you think it's the new Luna, Will?
I think it's something that's going to come and go. I think there's better tech. If you look at things like Sui and Aptos, they're almost 4 times, 10 times the TPS.
When you make the comparison that it's the new Luna, I would assume that you're talking about the crash that follows after.
Yeah, correct.
So you think it's going to go to like, I don't know, $300?
I think it's going to go so
$600
extreme to the
and then to
upside that
zero
it's going to
in a day?
wreck people. No, not zero, not zero. I never anticipated Luna to go to zero. I hate. Maybe I should have more context to that, right? Like when I talked about Luna, I was talking about like almost a 50 to 70% correction from the high.
Will, you want to make a bet?
Ended up
I would
going
like
to zero.
another Solana bet. You want to make a bet right here live on the show?
We're gonna get into the chart. And then
let's make a bet. I'll bet you whatever you want that Sol more than doubles its previous all-time high in terms of market cap. You name it.
Look,
name it.
We'll talk about it. We'll get into
all that shit just a second ago. Come on, Will.
We'll get into
scared,
it.
Will.
So you guys are talking about Sol going to $500 billion.
Correct.
Okay, so where's ETH going?
Probably 1.5.
1.5. Okay, where's Bitcoin going?
Maybe.
Listen, I was running the alpha here, right? And I was saying that BTC is going to 200K minimum. So
okay,
at 200K,
market cap.
Yeah. So, wait, I'm gonna calculate it right here.
Okay, so we're just gonna do some math live here on the stream. 1.5 trillion.
So that's 4.2 trillion. If BTC goes to 200K, that's 4.2 trillion.
Okay.
So
4.2 trillion for BTC. And then
minimum, in my opinion.
Okay, and you're saying Max that Sol is going to take up that much market share of the total market cap, and it's going to go what?
Say 500, 600 billion. Unless it completely cucks ETH and actually steals market share and then flips it, then we're talking about a crazy fractal, which I don't know if I'm leaning towards. Like I was showing that one earlier. That's pretty wild.
So 0.5 trillion.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Okay, so I think 500 billion is a reasonable guesstimate, right? So like we can go with that. We can entertain that. So if we look at all these together, right? And at the end of the day, it's all about your outlook on upside. Where are you going to start dialing out? That's really the question, right? So me personally, I'm going to start dialing out probably close to 6 trillion. That total.
Well, first of all, I don't know if I agree that Bitcoin's going to a 4.2 trillion mark. I know that was Jackus's target. If we're going off of what I think, I'm not so sure I think that happens this cycle. I think it will for sure happen. But I think that Bitcoin probably peaks this cycle
wait,
at like
Max. So you
yeah.
think we don't go to $200,000 per BTC this cycle?
I find it difficult to. I mean, it's possible, right? I don't know, but I just look at that we have diminished volatility, diminished returns both to the upside, and then also diminished drawdown in a bear market. So we went from 20K previous all-time high to basically 70K. So it was just over a 3x.
So what do you?
Diminished returns is a meme. I'm telling everyone
But
here
it's
right
not a
now.
meme because you can measure it
No,
right now. It's real.
I know you can. I know that you can with the meme Fourier cycle, but this is not going to last forever. And the future cycles, the future movements will be way more dependent based on. Wait, I gotta close the window here. The future cycles will be more dependent based on liquidity and the world situation rather than the meme Fourier cycle. So the diminished returns, I would say diminished volatility, but for example, like just look at gold, right? And at 70s, what did it do? What did it do in 2000 to
Well,
2012?
it's the same thing here,
And
Jackus. Tesla's a great example of it too. Like if you,
yeah,
a lot of people thought here diminished returns, it started to roll over. This company's going nowhere, and then break out. Diminished returns, this company's going
No, I
nowhere,
mean
and then probably
that's fair,
circulate this
and I
way,
don't
and
mean
then
to.
break out.
I don't mean to like FUD Bitcoin at all. Like I'm very bullish on it. It's just until that theory of diminished volatility, both to the upside and to the downside, breaks. I don't know if I really want to fade, a decade and a half long trend that we've been seeing and you
now
can measure.
listen, Max, listen. This is very important. So you cannot, if you do that, right? You will sell 70, 80K because diminished returns, and then BTC goes to 300K. So you sell at 70 and then FOMO back at 300. That's not what you want to do, right? And I'm like saying this to anyone. And you need to view this cycle for what it is fundamentally. All of these, stock to flow, shitcoin indicators. It's a stupid, retarded uh, analytic to make how BTC is going to evolve, because it's completely disregarding the supply and demand in the market itself. It's just working as if there is going to be a forever constant supply and demand for the asset, and that's just bullshit. So it can never work. And when you when you look at BTC where it is right now, you cannot look at all of these like, yeah, it worked like this in the past cycle. I mean, it's a good to use as a like a sort of like when we want to measure the time where we are in the cycle and so forth. It's a good tools, but you cannot look at it like, hey, this is how it's going to be. This is what people do on Twitter for engagement, and I get that. But when we want to look at the price, we have to look at the world market economy, and like how are things in the world unfolding. And if you know we are in a special period of BTC history where like everything is colliding. So you have like this 30 to 60K long ass reaccumulation for the institutions. You had the first S curve of 10 years where you had the initial adoption. Now you're entering and there are variety of metrics that there is less than 10% of people in crypto right now worldwide. This is going to go from 10 to 90% in the next 10 years. You also going we are heading into you have the spot ETFs now available, so you have all these doors open for these institutions to come in. You'll
Yeah.
probably heading into a commodities bull run, right? That's going to just take BTC with it as well. We are heading into a period of QE. That's after all this QT, the QE is just coming. This is just a fact, and these are all things that are aligned. So I agree with the fact that at some point in the future, BTC will definitely have diminished the returns, and maybe there is a like cycle when there is a no cycle, right? Like what can happen here is that you will not have simply BTC going up for years, then down, then up, then out, and being the same all the freaking time. Now, what you can have is a prolonged period of sideways here. You head into this decade that I just described. BTC goes to like it can overshoot to freaking 50K, $50,000. Then it can have 10 years where it does absolutely nothing. It becomes the gold post 70s. It can do nothing for 10, 20 years, and that's just They're just big
I,
possibilities.
I'm completely on board with you, Jack. It's like I think people always fade the easiest moves again. You see similar moves here, like on the SPY at the beginning, right? SPY's over here,
Yeah.
SPY's just doing its uptrend, and then all of a sudden it gets the big spike, right? The fake out high, the washout, and then the real run. And now we can say this and say, oh, this is an extended period of time, but this speeds up over time. Like if you look at like things like Tesla, for instance, Tesla's another great example of how this works. And Tesla's a much shorter period of time, right? So again, we're like in here. We're in the first inning with Bitcoin on this decade. And that's what a lot of people don't even realize. I'm looking for Bitcoin to make some major moves, probably
Yeah.
by the end of this decade, 2020 now all the way to 2030. And a lot of people are just going to be completely caught off guard. You got to understand when they're putting guardrails in place and when they're pushing markets to or toward a certain asset class, then you're seeing everything put in place, right? Everything is there. So at that position, you have to understand that there's
No.
exponentials that can be made for a lot of these. As far
This
as Bitcoin
needs to be discussed. This is the math that you all went over. If you think Sol's going to 500 billion, that's a 6.25x from the all-time high. That's 1750. Right?
Yeah.
That's obscene. That's that's like it's like a 20x from here almost.
Yes.
All right. There's some propaganda.
That's
if you're just going to take it as ETH, it's going to do a 3.3x. It's going to be 850. Like this is like just
that's what I'm thinking, Tucker. Is I think Sol, like I don't think Sol's going to go into the secular bull run it went into and then go into some obscene upside. I think Sol's going to do what ETH did. I think the first cycle was Ethereum, and then the second cycle will be a slowdown to get people to get the hell out, and then the third cycle will be another boom. It's like a boom bust boom theory.
The reason for this, for those watching, is that Solana has a pretty high inflation rate. So if you were to look at the Solana market cap chart versus Sol USD, you will see pretty clearly that actually the Sol market cap chart has extended far higher than the Sol USD chart. So that's why the math works out the way it does. So actually the inflation rate can be a good thing.
Well, the inflation rate doesn't work against it until you hit a bear market. And that's why I think like when I discussed Luna, I didn't mean like go to zero. I meant like this thing's going to get obliterated with the inflation rate in a bear market. Like people are going to be selling off on top of the inflation rate, and the inflation rate's it's gonna be that much more too on top of it going into
like
bear market.
like when there is a future bear market, Solana is probably going to go minus 90%. The only question is like where is that from, right? And I still stand it. I think that Solana goes to like at least $500.
I would give people this example, right? I'm gonna give you guys this example, and I'll leave it at that. People thought last cycle in 17, well, before 2021, in 17, and so on and so forth, going into 2020, and Algorand, was it EGL, like all these other L1s were going to do exponentials over Ethereum. Ethereum slaughtered them, right? And I think people are going blindly into this next cycle, thinking the same thing with Sol. And ultimately, I think Ethereum is going to slaughter Sol, like not as far as X's, but market cap. I think it's going to absolutely kill it in market cap. X's Sol has performed very well, right? It has been a high performer. I think like buying Sol here is kind of like telling people to buy, Nvidia on the breakout. Does that make sense? I guess is that a fair assessment? I guess at the end of the day,
it's buying ETH at a 30 billion market cap.
Listen. If I apply the same Fibonacci's for Ether as well, okay, I'll pull a Tommy here. One sec.
What are we even talking about here?
Dude, what are we even talking about here?
I'm exhausted even debating this. It's so clear.
So much higher, period. So much.
I don't even own much Sol right now. I'm about to ape after we get off YouTube. I'm about to ape because I'm just it's in protest of any counter opinion is what it is.
It's like, dude, Bitcoin hit a 3x from its all-time high. You don't think Sol's gonna
I don't think you should ever compare assets in the way that you guys
let's make our bet. Let's make our bet. All right.
On what? What do you want to bet?
I want to bet that you're wrong on your belief that Solana is not going to perform well this cycle.
I didn't say that at all. That was not my position.
Yeah,
My position
but
was,
to be fair, Will was saying that it just doesn't go as high as we think.
yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's we can call that FUD or whatever. I didn't say at all that it was not going to perform.
It's a good
I just
chart,
said it.
Jack.
I don't
a
think
good
it's going to go
chart.
that high. That's all.
These are pure Fibonacci effects, and I agree that's with Will that we have to also take into account the token dilution, right? The market caps of them, and that's fair point. But just Fibonacci looking like, so that's 800.
What fib is that, Jackus?
It's 3.4.
Okay.
So that's 3.4 for ETH where it went, and that's around 865 for Sol. But even if it does only half of that, that's still $600. And I still say that $500-$600 is just very much doable for this cycle. But it will also depend. Like we have to keep in mind that this was a like full print cycle, right? What will cycle be like? What will this cycle be like? Is it going to be an ETF adoption cycle? Well, that's completely different from the printing cycle. Are we gonna go in a straight, line up like we went for Ether basically, or are we gonna keep making, like some decent structure here? This will matter a lot. How high we can go, and then how low we can go.
Yeah,
So,
structure will definitely be a big accounter for that.
yeah.
And if you see some kind of like serious like breakout, like where Sol just does, what Ethereum did at end of cycle, like you're gonna get destroyed. It's gonna come down massively. But I guess the point at the end of the day is exactly what Jack is saying. I think like 500, 600 is achievable. I think going over $1,000, going over $3,000, I think that's just. And I've been bullish the whole time. I've been
Wait,
bullish the
what
whole
did
time.
what
I
did
don't. I
ETH
don't.
bottom at?
I
there?
don't think that. And then also hold on. Let's do some other numbers. I feel like we're leaving some numbers out. Let's do some numbers on the exponentials of how much altcoins grew last cycle. I mean, other coins that exist and took market share from Ethereum, and how much more they're going to probably grow this cycle. And I think if we take everything into account, there's not going to be enough market share to go around for Sol to take that much market share to go over, $2,000, $3,000 Sol.
Okay, but real quick,
That was the
look at
part I was
chart.
arguing. I wasn't
Look at
arguing
the
that Sol
chart.
can't go $500, $600, $700. I think that's a definite possibility.
Look at the chart. Look at the chart, Jackus. So you're saying zoom out on ETH a little bit now. I mean, Sol should bottom in the next bear market higher than it is right now.
No,
Yeah.
Ethereum
Right?
broke its high.
Look at the chart. Look at where ETH bottomed in 2022. Higher than where Sol is right now. Boom. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, you can round trip it.
I'm just
100%.
saying it's not going to go.
It actually might bottom here in the next bear market.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could completely round trip this if you want.
For
Like
sure.
100%. I'm not trying to round trip shit though. That's all I'm
But
saying.
that's not 90% down.
Yeah, I think what you have there, Jack, is like that's fair. No, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's 85, doesn't matter if it's 87, doesn't matter if it's 92. Like 90% is a rough range, right? Like you can, if you're getting anywhere near a 75% plus drawdown, you're going to get obliterated.
Listen, this cycle we got 96%, so the next cycle is probably 85 to like I would say 87 to 90.
Yeah,
is in my opinion the next cycle.
We're anticipating the drawdown, but we're also talking about the breakout. So the breakout, I think, reasonably stays under $1,000.
But it will also depend once again, what's the structure leading to the bull market. So yeah, we'll see. But I think generally speaking, just zooming out. I still think that we need some correction more on Sol. I'm not sure that this is it just yet. This is the weekly one that I was saying at least it needs to pull back down here, right? And this level definitely does make sense. But it's not scary enough. This is like what everyone that missed the bull wants to buy. And I still stand and I will hold my convictions because I keep winning. with my convictions, and I still say that even if there is a bounce here, I still think we need to see more scary pullback. That's really scary, where people doubt Sol. People are not doubting Sol yet, and I think
That's
we
all.
need-
Yeah, nobody's doubting Sol right now.
Is it possible
Absolutely
they
zero
spent enough
people.
time doubting Sol for like 2 years in the accumulation and the bear market?
I mean, did people spend enough time doubting Ethereum? Because people are still doubting Ethereum.
I will
As
say
they
one thing on
should.
Solana. You know, I can see one more leg deeper, maybe into like the low to mid 70s on it, but I don't think you really want to see it go too much deeper than that, because I think when you look at like structure, the context of it, both on Bitcoin and Solana, you know, they both propelled higher from their vertical accumulation patterns. If you have Sol going below, you know, I think any lower than like 75 or 80 bucks, at that point, you're talking about violating that vertical accumulation structure on not just Solana, but probably on Bitcoin too. So,
Yeah,
you know, I think if we're talking about Sol going below $80 significantly, I think I definitely see the potential from a structural standpoint, but I think that it also has to be applied to Bitcoin then too. And if Sol's not going to hold this level as support, then Bitcoin's probably not going to either.
I agree with you, Tommy. I think if you're gonna see Sol break into that range, you're probably gonna see Bitcoin break the 30.
I think that's a fair argument, but I'm gonna show you something that I talked about a while ago. That's Rune, right? And look what Rune has done or
Yeah,
not
that's
done
a good
since.
point.
And it also bounced, and market stayed bullish, and it just kept bleeding. And this is what Sol can just one day it decides, hey, I'm not running anymore, and the market will be running. ETH will run to 3060, and Sol will do nothing. It will be the Rune, and Rune was the same narrative as Sol. By the way, we have to entertain the fact that the Rune developers came out and start laughing at people shorting Rune. And it was right here.
This is
Yeah.
my first time looking at the Rune chart in a minute, man. This is a brutal dip.
Rune is a great example of what can happen to a market that's overly bullish on an asset, right? It creates a distributive top, pushes price. Now, granted, this move on Rune I think is very bullish, because why? It's not
No, it
puking.
is, yeah.
It's slowly dragging people out.
Yeah,
to
it's gonna
boredom.
pop off that level wherever it bottoms.
Those are great positions, and that's what I think Sol will probably do something similar. People will start shitting on Sol. People start talking about Sol as like not the place to be. You'll probably see Ethereum run. You'll see some kind of asset rotation to
You
another
mean
chain,
like what's happening right
or
now, Will?
or AVAX or so on and so forth. I mean, people aren't really shitting on
Sol is
man.
still
You are, brother. What are you talking about?
I said it's not going to 3,000. That's not shitting on Sol, bro. Like
I know.
that's the point. I guess I always try to get across. People always like FUD or you hate on he's not exposed. The JPEGs I flipped from $20 to $200 was on Sol. For those in the audience who don't know, like I've literally been playing Sol because there's liquidity there. It makes sense to be over there flipping to people who are idiots who are going to buy things at exponentials that don't make any sense. Chewed up bubblegum, 5-10 homeless people all at the same time. But you know, and they all stuck the gum together, and you basically just chewed it up for me for like $200.
Such an elaborate explanation of that, Will.
It's one big ball of gum in your mouth.
Detailed.
Listen, guys, you need to smash the like button if you haven't done so yet. We are spitting alpha left and right, and the like button is just not smashed enough. It needs to be raped. I said that, but it is what it is.
Look, at the end of the day, the like button needs to get smashed, or we're taking a day off. Okay, and you guys can figure out what's going on in the market. And then, in addition to that, I mean, tomorrow, you guys ain't gonna know what's going on tomorrow if you can't hit that like button. And then in addition to that, I think Sol does go up a lot from here, but I don't think Sol goes as high as much. Like, I remember this conversation in 2021 on many different assets. This is the ETH killer. This is the thing that'll replace Bitcoin, blah, 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 right? And all these things never came to fruition. Tommy, I'm sure you heard about, and again, I'm not saying Sol's going to freaking zero. I'm sure you heard about the that Luna's never going to come down because of the flip between stablecoin and the Luna coin, right?
And I remember it picking up The fact, like the part of Luna never coming down was more in the back half of its pump, right? Like when it sustained above 40 bucks, and then probably the final like 2 or 3 multiples on it, everybody thought the coin was invincible. And then, I mean, we all know what happened, but I will say though, Will, I mean, we had like Luna at least had the canary in the coal mine, quote unquote, in May of 2021, because, before the space wide just catastrophe that it turned out to be, in May, it was almost headed to zero anyway. I mean, basically the exact same reason that it did eventually go to zero was causing the Luna itself and UST. I think UST depegged to like 85 cents.
Yep.
So there were warning signs beforehand, and I did not buy Luna specifically because of that. So I missed the whole pump, right? I missed like a 40x, even though it eventually did go to zero. And I was technically right about the fact that the burn mechanism was a huge problem. But I guess that's just kind of how markets go, right? Sometimes you're very right on what's going to happen, but incredibly wrong on the timing, which, probably can make you wrong depending on who you're talking to, right? Or what the situation is. So from a mind share standpoint, I definitely agree. Sol will probably come back down like 80% again, 70 to 80% again. That's pretty normal for shit coins. I want to pose a different scenario to you guys with Sol. Like, what if we do something where the cycle high?
Tommy, you want to pull out a Tommy?
No, I don't have a chart for it. Just an idea that I was thinking up. Like, what if Solana does something like tag above 300 bucks this year, right? This year. And then we just get this massive macro range on Solana for a few years before an eventual breakout of that macro range that takes us to like $1,000 Solana, right? In like 2027.
I mean, look, Tommy, I don't want to be that guy that's being fudding, but I think people need to understand where the liquidity is and definitely pay attention to liquidity. But I think at the end of the day, people are so hyper focused on their cults that they don't understand that cults create distributive tops, right? They create ranges. They create stopping points where the market's just not going to go any higher. It's just not, whether people want it to or not. The buy side pressure will not exceed the sell side pressure.
I do think Sol's going a lot higher from here, like within this cycle, whether the cycle ends this year, whether it ends in like it's an extended cycle and it's all the way until 2027. I mean, I think to a certain point, it's kind of like, framing, but I will say, well, I think there's a non-zero chance that Sol hits all-time high in the first half of this year.
Like, I 100% agree. Look, I think Sol will exceed all-time high. I think there's a potential for a 2 or 3x from all-time high, but I don't think there's much more gas in the tank than that. And I think of it more like think of it like the SPX, right? It holds a certain position of each asset in its portfolio, and that's what makes up the SPX. There's only so much liquidity to go around, and I think that's what people tend to forget when they look at an asset class, and they don't think about the liquidity side of things. And this is something I look at heavily. I'm like, all right, how much liquidity has this already soaked up? How much attention has it grabbed? If Sol is the attention getter, and let's say Sol's sitting at I don't know, 250 billion. Let's say it's sitting at 250 billion by EOY, right, in a year. Sure, I'm playing the Sol ecosystem. Why? Because there's lots of plays in there at that point. If it's got 250 billion, it's got attraction from devs, it's got a lot of new projects launching, yada yada yada. Otherwise, it wouldn't have 250 billion. And if that's the case, beta plays are the play. It's not Sol. It's not Sol. It's the beta plays on Sol.
What if Sol goes to $250 and then nukes, and that's your big scare where everybody shits on it?
I gotta click out of this comment, guys.
Oh no, I was muted. Okay, so from 85 bucks, you think Sol can pull a 10x? Why are you holding ETH? Like, why would you know what I'm saying? Like, you think ETH?
That's what I came to.
I'm not holding
realization. That's what clicked for me. I'm like, what am I doing over here?
Like, man? Why would Sol not be your major? You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
agree. I agree with you guys, and that's always been my case. Oh wait,
Oh shit.
What the
Sisu
heck is
is calling
happening?
us. Sisu is
This
calling us on Discord.
Yeah, we gotta jump
Oh,
over
we
there
gotta
in a
go.
second.
All right, we gotta wrap this up. We're running late. All right, guys, we got a call. I'm sorry. We got to wrap it up here. We actually went a little bit long. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, please consider checking out the first link in the description below. It'll take you to our website where you can sign up for our Discord. You get to see a look behind the curtain of how Tucker, Tommy, me, Will, Jackus, Wabi, and the entire Because Bitcoin team is actually positioning in this markets. Furthermore, we are dropping a new flagship product called the BB Terminal right around the Bitcoin halving. That's going to be bundled in with our premium Discord service. So it's going to be a really awesome bundle. It's basically a Bloomberg terminal, but for crypto guys. So if you want to be early to the beta testing team, as well as grandfather yourself in for life to the current price of $149.99 per month, definitely go to our website and check that out sooner rather than later, because again, the prices are going to increase when BB Terminal drops. Thanks so much for being here. Please like and subscribe. Tommy, I'll just take us out today because we got that meeting. So, guys, thanks so much for being here. We will see you tomorrow at 10:55 a.m. Eastern Time for Thursday's episode of Market Check. Take care. Oh, wait, hang on.